The campus of North Carolina Central University. Alongside Stan Luter, I am Ryan Craig, moments away from tip between the NC Central Eagles and the Rattlers of Florida A&M. And Stan, these two teams have already played twice this year. They're going to play tonight. They're going to play tomorrow night. Rattlers won the first two down in Tallahassee earlier this year.
And there's going to be the same type of intensity tonight, I think. Both of these teams are hungry, trying to get some momentum as you get ready to go to the MEAC tournament. Now, keep your eye on a couple of guys. First of all, MJ Randolph. Only about 6'3", 6'4", but he leads the team in scoring as well as rebounding. The 2019 MEAC Rookie of the Year. Here's the interesting thing about him. Leading scorer on the basketball team, but yet he's only made 2 3-point baskets after only attempting 5. He gets in the paint and scores. There's MJ. And again, he does a lot of things positive for this team. Leadership, rebounds, can run the floor. And as I said, he's going to score a lot of points in the paint. He's not going to do a lot of jump shots, but he's a solid player. And if Florida A&M expects to win both of these games, MJ Randolph has got to make contributions, passing, dribbling, rebounding, and obviously being very, very smart. Then the other side, you've got C.J. Kaiser. May or may not start today. It doesn't really matter. He's the leading scorer in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, but he's only made 14 to 37 threes. Why do I say that? Because he's been in a shooting slump as of late. He's got to come out of the slump as well as give the team some valuable leadership and play some solid defense. He can put it on the floor. He can do a lot of things. C.J. Kaiser, MJ Randolph, a lot of abbreviations, but some solid players.
And Kaiser, in fact, will not get the start tonight. It'll be Justin Wright, Jordan Perkins, Justin Watley, Jonathan Maxwell, Nicholas Fennell for Coach Lavelle Moten. On the other side for Coach Robert McCullum, Jalen Spear, Cameron Reeves, MJ Randolph. Speaking, right, you mentioned the acronyms already, Bryce Moraine and DJ Jones. And Randolph is so versatile. You saw the stats there a moment ago, leads the team in all those categories. He's also top 6 in the entire conference in points, rebounds, steals, and assists.
It's only about 6'3", 6'4", but is a guy that's around the basketball a lot.
Fennell off the tip, two-handed, and a good start for the Eagles.
An excellent start for NCC. You expect them to be a little more aggressive today. They sat back a lot against Florida A&M in those two games in early February down in Tallahassee. I expect to see them hungry and really aggressive to make plays. Good start.
Central's season has been interrupted almost unlike any other. A lot of teams facing similar circumstances have opted out of the rest of the season, but Coach Moten and his Eagles continue on. Just now, Stan, getting to that 12th game of the season. Really, this is about the time they'd be entering into conference play on a normal year.
You got to actually trick yourself into thinking this is mid-December basketball, to be honest with you. You're about a week away from exams and just trying to get yourself ready because they have not had any rhythm at all this year.
Offensive rebound, and for the traditional three-point play, perhaps it's Fennell on the finish once again.
And that's a really good start for Nicholas Fennell, a kid that averages about 9 points a basketball game, but showing his versatility and length. Got off to a good start on the jump ball. Perkins finds him once again for another assist. Fennell goes inside and the possible three-point play.
82% free throw shooter on the season is Fennell, who's getting his 10th start of the year. Lefty stroke is pure, 5-0 Eagles. Fennell has all 5 points as the pressure continues.
Two-guard trap, 2-2-1 or 1-2-1-1. Good steal.
Back the other way, and the quick start continues. It's Perkins on the finish. You wonder if we'll have an early timeout here for Coach McCullum.
And this is going to sound crazy, but this little stretch of basketball right now is what NCCU basketball has been all about the last 5 or 6 years. That's a 10-second count.
Yeah, it's a great start here for NC Central in front of some fans here tonight. Fans allowed back in the building, albeit in small numbers, but what a start for Coach Lavelle Moten and North Carolina Central.
Yeah, they're playing a fast pace defensively. They'll be a tempo basketball team, run some sets. They'll move the ball from side to side, a lot of screens, a lot of back screens, a lot of cross screens. You got to be able to defend it.
Going the other way as the foul is called. Eagles It's already crashing the offensive glass. The other day, 50 rebounds against North Carolina A&T. Their most versus a MEAC team since coming to Division I. One of the areas that they've improved on quite a bit as the season has progressed.
Well, they played Maxwell and Watley a lot in that basketball game, and so they needed to do a better job trying to defend against North Carolina A&T. And there's again not a turnover, but yeah, they did a really good job on the glass. And I think to win today, not only do they have to put pressure on the basketball a lot of places, they're going to have to do an excellent job rebounding. The Eagles come in as the 5th best team in the MEAC, but a deficit about a -4 on the rebounding side of the ledger.
Another turnover, the pressure for the Eagles giving Florida A&M fits here at the start, but it's given right back, that time by Perkins. Here is Randolph.
See, you don't have to worry about him taking the long-range shot much.
And Coach McCollum said, doesn't take a lot of threes. It's not his strength, but he's not a guy that's going to force it either. He understands what he's good at, and he's only taken 5 on the year. And another turnover. This time it's Wright who comes up with it.
And going back to McCollum real quick, to Randolph, he's been a big second-half scorer this year. Let's let the game come to him. This is a good matchup with young freshmen.
Look
Wright
inside. There's the double.
Spear.
Wright for 3. Another offensive rebound. It's Fennell again. Maxwell will try it. And Moraine comes away with it.
Moraine, one of the better rebounders in the conference.
This time it's Florida A&M hitting the offensive glass. It's Moraine who tips it in. A quick check on Perkins by the official to make sure he's okay. We'll have Mike Melvin check in for NC Central as Perkins will take a seat.
Not sure if he ran into the screen on the other side or it happened when he was on offense. Either way, they'll take him out, take a look at him, and you bring Melvin in. Melvin gives them some energy. Not much of a scorer, not much of a shooter, but really does a good job handling the basketball. 21 assists, only 20 turnovers so far this year.
Melvin, the senior out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, about 90 minutes south. Here he is on the drive. It'll stay here with the Eagles.
I really like how aggressive North Carolina Central has been these first couple of minutes of the game, taking the ball to the basket, but having active hands and legs defensively, trying to make some plays. And you just kind of feel like FAMU right now is kind of sleepwalking through this basketball game. It was a 7 o'clock tip, and I think somebody may have told them maybe it's 7:30, something like that. And so you've got to meet and match the intensity, especially playing here at North Carolina Central, playing on a 4-game losing streak.
And now we see C.J. Kaiser for the first time, and interesting that 6th-man role potentially for him gives them big-time scoring punch off the bench. Inside as Maxwell draws the foul.
And you're seeing, again, you keep talking about how easy Central is moving the basketball. Dribble penetration, there's your screen, there's your roll action, nice pass, and the ball in the paint and a foul, and you go to the free throw line. Again, that's Maxwell, who's got size, got a little length at 6'7", 6'8", and a 245, 250-pound guy that's playing better basketball the last couple of weeks.
66% shooter. The transfer from Iona, native of Virginia Beach, Virginia. This is on a pair, rebounded by DJ Jones.
A 1-4 set out of FAM.
So here is Spear, been one of the best freshmen in the league this year. 2nd most points per game for first-year players in the MEAC at just over 11. There's a 3 by Reeves as the Rattlers have closed to within 2.
Yeah, Cam Reeves is a really good streaky spot jump shooter, and he plays very well off of Spear. Spear can score, as you mentioned. He'll get my vote if I had one for Rookie of the Year because he's really been solid. But Cam does a good job getting set and scoring.
Good ball movement here for the Eagles. There's Kaiser on the drive. That three no good. Another offensive rebound. It's 4 already for the Eagles here in the first 4 minutes plus. Three from right, off the mark. Randolph comes away with it. You mentioned how good he is on the glass. More than half a dozen rebounds per game.
And again, if you looked at him and he's primarily a perimeter guy, a 2-3, you wouldn't think he's had 3 double-doubles this season and would lead the team with some 6'8s and some 6'9s and a guy 300 pounds in rebounding. Clock winding down.
Spot up jump shot. This time it's Florida A&M who comes away with the offensive rebound. Spear tries a three, and all of a sudden, Florida A&M leads 8-7.
Jalen Spears, 25th three of the season. As we mentioned, a very, very solid guy, young guy, 13 starts going into the night. And I'm telling you, he's one of those guys that is going to get better and better. You're going to hear from him for 4 years.
Inside and off the mark as Reeves in transition, nearly given away, and now Melvin is fouled. 14:23 to go. It was a 7-0 run for the Eagles out of the gate. 8 unanswered for the Rattlers in response. Plenty more to come here on ESPN+.
South Carolina State University. Are you next?
Rattlers by 1 here in Durham, North Carolina. Back-to-back threes for Spear and Reeves, and suddenly after getting stood up right out of the gate, Stan, Florida A&M with an answer.
Well, just settle in and value the basketball. Nice reverse pass there. You get the jump shot there. Again, move the ball. There's Spear after making the basket by Cameron Reeves. And one thing NCCU has to be able to understand is that, okay, you're going to give them initial pressure. What happens if they beat the pressure? Then you've got to recover it to shooters, because these guys can knock down some threes, and they're also a very, very good job of scoring on the mid-range. So we'll have to see what adjustments they're going to make as this game goes. Remember, NCCU lost both games to Florida A&M, and they're not too happy about that, considering that Florida A&M and NCCU are long-time rivals. They don't like each other.
Melvin slices and dices his way. Misses on the layup. Evans Desir on for the first time, grabs the rebound.
He'll use Desir at 300 pounds as a screener, and he's also got a nice post guy. He's got good footwork for a guy at 300 pounds.
Fall-away jumper there, and the paint is off the mark. Coach McCollum says he is a true low-post threat. No doubt about it.
Coach McCollum feeling like that Central was doing too good a job on the glass. Gets a little size in there.
Moultrie, the transfer from LaSalle, who's hitting 45% from 3, and that number escalates just a bit.
Jameer Moultrie is a guy that's been a streaky shooter and sees the floor well. His 19th three of the season. And again, if you can get him scoring the basketball, it takes a lot of pressure off the inside guys.
Watley forces the turnover and goes coast to coast.
You know, I'll go back to what I said earlier. Probably the best 10 minutes of basketball you've seen defensively out of Central all year.
Cabella altering that shot. And now Melvin the other way. Watley inside, and 3 straight baskets for the Eagles. It has been a game of runs, certainly in the beginning here.
Yeah, and Fam's not, that's a good timeout by Coach McCollum. Fam's not doing a good job handling the basketball or getting back on defense. Transition baskets after turnovers are going Central's way.
The lead is half a dozen for North Carolina Central University, trying to take their first game of the season from the Rattlers.
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
At a natural disaster.
I've saved lives. And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Eagles have forced 5 turnovers here in the early going in less than 8 minutes. It's led to 4 points. Felt like more, though, to be honest. The pressure continues.
It's moving the ball under control. Got to put more pressure on a perimeter shooter. That's Moultrie. Like I said, one of the best three-point shooters on this North Carolina Central team. You think about three-pointers. Devin Palmer's not in the game yet. Moultrie and Kaiser have had 54 of the only 78 threes the Eagles have made. So that's a good start for them on the perimeter.
Full court pressure continues. Moultrie gives the foul, hounding Spear. You can't press like this unless you feel like you've gotten a little bit better on the conditioning front. That was a worry for Coach Lavelle Moten throughout the year. They just haven't had a lot of time on the court, and perhaps he's starting to feel like they're getting there, although, of course, they surrendered a pair there.
Well, that was a nice job beating the pressure by Florida A&M. Take it down the sideline and send your guard sprinting, and all the big guys got to do is make a catch and then with a nice pass. But, yeah, you're right. The better shape you're in, the harder you can play longer. And again, it's conditioning, the mental aspect of this has been difficult for a lot of teams. North Carolina Central is just, one of them. So they go inside to the big.
It is Desir.
You see that?
Cabella. Desir just leans into him. Not much Cabella can do there as he gives the foul. 14-10 to score from McDougal, McClendon Arena. The Nest, Coach Moten.
From your training with the Peloton Tread Plus.
Nice job.
Fans in the building. What a lovely sight that is after so long. This COVID-19 pandemic, of course, has had an effect on all of us in different ways, and just so good to have everybody. The pageantry back as part of college basketball, and I'll tell you one thing, Florida A&M's sick of having as part of this one is turnovers.
10-second call,
both ways, really.
Unforced turnover there. Post pass, got to go up and get the basketball. Notice that 4 or 5 gray shirts around the basketball on that loose ball. Steal right there. Nice finish by North Carolina Central. They're forcing turnovers. They're aggressive. They're in passing lanes. And when NCCU's been able to do that, they've had a lot of success. Forced 18 in the game we had against South Carolina State. They've had 6 of their games this year where they forced, 15 or more turnovers. So, again, part of what NCCU used to do, and I hate to say it like that, but when they were playing good, you would see a lot of turnovers forced. This year, they've not been able to do that quite as much.
Look inside. Short jump shot is good for Moraine.
I like him. 6'5", got a really nice body, can make that mid-range shot. Again, against the pressure, if they're going to come out that wide, you got to send a cutter. And when you catch it in the paint, you got to know what to do with it. Nice play.
Arrived as a preferred walk-on with his program, earned a scholarship his junior year. And there's a 3 from Kaiser.
That might really be good for his confidence. See the ball go in the basket early in the offense for him, and they'll get more in tune defensively.
15th 3 of the year for Kaiser, third most on the team. Desir fighting for position. Nice defense there from Cabella, not to foul, going over the top.
Bad post pass.
Moultrie into the paint, and he traveled.
And why do you say that? Because you've got a big, wide target in Desir, and all you've got to do is make solid passes. Ball fake, bounce it in there, and let him catch it. You float the ball. Again, defensively, did a really nice job of reaching over without fouling and getting deflection. One of the lost arts in basketball is how to feed the post.
Another turnover for Florida A&M. Melvin settles things down as we tick down toward 10.5 to play here in the first half. Moultrie guarded by Randolph. Kaiser, an open 3. That one just off the mark. Desir, he goes with the pump fake and rejected by Cabella.
Well, he's got space, but one thing he doesn't necessarily have is a great vertical or great leaping. So Cabella has opportunity to kind of recover and does a nice job of blocking the shot. It would have been perfect if he kept it in play, but they'll take the block.
Lightly used for a lot of the year, Cabella seeing significant minutes here tonight. Comes up with his first block of the year.
Well, he's physical enough that he can go inside and bang with Desir. Started some games early this year, but then just, other guys would come in and ask him to do more. Doesn't play a lot of minutes, but again, when he goes in most of the time, he's giving them some positive plays. There was one with the block shot.
20 on the shot clock. The lefty jump shot misses everything off the hand of DJ Jones. Eagles come back the other way. Moultrie for three. Randolph has only tried one shot here tonight. Eagles have done a good job on him so far. Desir, the rebound, leaves that one short. Kaiser flies in to grab the rebound. And one for Kaiser.
You just had the feeling that today was going to be a better scoring day for Kaiser. So hard to stop him off the bounce. They never stop the basketball. The hesitation, he gets you on your heel, DJ Jones, and he just attacks him, uses the glass, and gets the basket.
Second foul on Jones. Reeves has 2 as well, so some foul trouble for the Rattlers. 5 early points here for Kaiser after coming on off the bench.
And that's big that Jones picks up his second foul with so much left in the first half, because he's that guy that can step out and make some mid-range shots. Not really going to ask him to take a lot of threes, but he is a big scorer for this team. Only 10 points a ball game, and at 6'9", can rebound and also guard a lot of positions.
Randolph doubled in the backcourt. Nice pump fake there. He's fouled. Maybe Randolph can get it going from the free throw line.
Again, I like the way both teams have been aggressive in beating pressure. The problem for Florida A&M is that they've had so many unforced turnovers, It's a little too casual in my taste for the ball, but that time, aggressive head and shoulder fake. And you see how effective a head and shoulder fake can be for you? I mean, boom, one step, and he's already at the basket.
Randolph hits the first. Talked about Bryce Moraine, a preferred walk-on who earned a scholarship. MJ Randolph only had one Division I offer coming out of high school. Took it to play college ball in Tallahassee. A team-high 20 the other night against South Carolina State.
So a little token pressure themselves. And interesting enough, we still have yet to see Perkins.
Yeah, went to the bench there after suffering a bit of a collision as Kaiser dunks home points 6 and 7 for him tonight.
Very efficient offensively tonight. Spacing. Remember we talked about, they spread you out. They looked for a lot of back cuts. They found the back cut, got a basket.
Three-pointer, no good. Heavy collision there. Jai Clark is still on the floor. It's interesting there too, Stan. Sometimes when you pressure the basketball, it speeds up the other team, right? You might not get the turnover, but all of a sudden then they get going so fast. It was a quick 3 there for Clark.
And that's why how to handle. There's the back cut. Remember, he spaced everybody across the free throw line, extended, bam, just a little back cut, makes a good, nice pass, looks at him, okay, gets a dunk, let's come back and do it again. But you're right, you speed teams up sometimes, and if your guards aren't able to understand how to control tempo, what your numbers are, you can get yourself in some bad situations, bad quick shots, turnovers, a mass shot that takes off the other way. And so Florida A&M's got to be very, very careful right now, because Central's in tune defensively first and foremost, and then on the offensive end.
Jai Clark has to come out. He's not quite right on the sidelines for Florida A&M. We saw Jordan Perkins leave a little earlier, so both teams down some personnel here with under 9 to go in half number 1. It's a 7-point Eagle lead.
You miss Clark because he's another guy that's got some size, but also is a very, very solid perimeter shooter. I think there was some blood on the floor. Yep.
So that'll be tended to right now. Moraine on the inbounds. Keith Littles is on for Coach Robert McCollum, the junior out of Georgia. Reeves.
Reeves can put the ball on the floor. Is not really a big shooter.
And another foul is called.
I think they got Fennell on a hole on the opposite side.
Corner three for Reeves is good.
Yeah. Comes out of the corner off the weak. Catch and shoot guy and buries another three.
Florida A&M had a pause earlier in the season. Really shooting the ball well before that was Reeves, and he's kind of lost the shooting stroke a bit, perhaps finding it here tonight in the Bull City. And now a turnover forced by the Rattlers.
Well, the Rattlers are the #1 team in the conference in field goal shooting percentage, so they've had some good looks, and when they've had those good looks, especially against Central in those two games, they were able to knock them down.
Now it's Caldwell to the floor. Eagles playing a lot of players here in the first half.
Again, the war of attrition, still trying to get guys in shape. Caldwell just came on the team a couple of weeks ago, and they are really excited about him. Not a big kid out of South Carolina. Played at Southeast Missouri State. Transferred into North Carolina Central, finally got everything eligible and right. Another injured player down, but they're really excited about watching Mr. Caldwell.
Physical matchup here this evening at McDougal-McClendon Arena. Johnny Brown limping around a bit for the Rattlers. For now, NC Central, a 21-17 lead.
There. Get free shipping on your favorite brands at academy.com, or get free curbside or in-store pickup at your Academy store.
Eagles by 4. Back here in the nest. Kaiser off the bench with 7. It's too early. No, it's getting big bedtime, I guess.
You're on TV. Wait.
7:30. Our kids will be in bed by now.
Just so happy to see fans in the stands, and you can tell them that.
No doubt. That one rejected. Moraine will help side defense. Kaiser looking to contain Spear, and another turnover. Make it 8 on the evening for Florida A&M.
Devin Palmer just reached out and grabbed that.
Quick 3 in transition, calling it a 2, maybe a foot on the line, but Caldwell already having an impact.
Yeah, Caldwell's a kid, like we mentioned, from down in Columbia, South Carolina. Actually played some AAU basketball with a guy that we're both familiar with that is from that South Carolina area. I think he wore #1 in blue and white down the street for you a couple years ago.
Another early 3, by the way, after breaking the pressure. A couple times we've seen that one in and out and around the rim. Yeah, he was a pretty good player down the road, and he's doing it about 6 states away now, too, at a pretty high level. His first All-Star game.
Florida A&M shooting 31% so far in the basketball game. The Eagles shooting 45, but more interesting than that is that Fam's got 8 assists. I mean, 5 assists, I should say, 8 turnovers. Far too many in this type of game.
Skip pass. Caldwell sets the feet, and now you know why they were excited to have him in the fold.
Yeah, like I said, played at Southeast Missouri State and then transfers in. It took him time to get everything in order in the second semester, so he's just started playing with the Eagles over the last couple of weeks.
32 minutes total, but looking to earn some more time here. Already a couple of threes, 5 points in total. I should say had that long 2 foot on the line, plus the 3. A little deflection on that shot. It's Kaiser the other way.
Coach McCullough might have to call a timeout if NCCU scores here. He's got to slow the momentum.
Maxwell didn't quite have the footwork together. Jones comes away with the rebound. Here is Randolph. Still relatively quiet evening for him. A couple of points, both of those coming from the free throw line. That's just the second shot he's attempted and has not hit a field goal yet.
Nice job defensively by Caldwell.
Kaiser with a nice look inside. Fennell saves the possession. Here's Caldwell again.
Plenty of time on the clock. Eagles will move you around.
Long 2 for Caldwell, and he is on fire here this evening.
Caldwell's so new, he doesn't know all the nuances of the offense. Lavelle wants you to pull it out. He said, nah, Coach, I got to knock this one down.
The offense right now is let Caldwell shoot, and it's working. Possession arrow takes a spill.
No reset.
Jump shot, no good. Kaiser with the rebound. And then turned over.
This game could get ugly quick unless, there you go. I'm about to say, unless Fam can find a way to score and just too many turnovers, too many quick shots. And when Central has got both things working like this, it's going to be hard for them to come back in this ball game. Not giving up on it right now. I know it's a lot of time, but I'm just trying to tell you some things early to look for.
This is a very different looking NC Central team than when you and I called that game a couple weeks ago against South Carolina State.
Yeah, well, they're really aggressive today, and they're not happy. They're coming in on a 4-game losing streak. Good looks that time by Caldwell from one side, and takes it off the dribble, pulls up and knocks in the jumper. You know, something interesting too. They had the 2 lowest scoring games of the season. And this is a team that also played Iowa, Southern University, and North Carolina, 50 and 47 points against Florida A&M. And they're getting great looks, and they're going to keep on scoring tonight.
Speaking of great looks, Caldwell's looking great here this evening. The teardrop falls, 30-17 Eagles, and another turnover. Double digits now for the Rattlers in that category.
It was heat check.
That was, he took the words right out of my mouth. Little heat check 3 there, no good. I guess when you're 4 for 4, you can get away with that.
And you're new. You only played 3 games, okay? So you say, well, Coach, I didn't know. Tell you who does know, the Rattlers. They know they're not efficient at all on offense.
Jones going to work down low, tries to use the glass. Cabella got his hands on it. Graves tracked it down, but it's in the hands of Randolph. Randolph still doesn't have a field goal, but that time followed by Jones. Slight build, but athletic.
Oh, yeah, I like him. And you know, I was going to say a moment ago, Jones has had some nice looks. He's making easy shots difficult. Go up strong, go off 2 feet, finish it. He can elevate.
He's got 3 straight double-figure point games in 8 of the last 11. Step back for Palmer off the rim. Fennell fighting for the rebound inside. 3:32 to go in the first half. Eagles by 11. Caldwell giving them some energy off the bench. Fennell with 5 as well.
And this April, the Azaleas are back at the Masters.
North Carolina Central's secret weapon, Alex Caldwell, only his 4th basketball game for the Eagles. But, man, I tell you what, he is lighting it up right now, in rhythm, coming off the dribble right there, getting some really nice looks and shooting with a lot of confidence. Transferred from SEMO, Southeast Missouri State, and he had 75 three-point baskets in his 2.5 seasons there. Played his, like I mentioned, down in South Carolina, has come back here and really being maybe an X factor for the Eagles as you play one more game, and then you make the road trip up to Norfolk for the MEAC tournament.
Just one of 9 on the season from the field. 4 of 5 tonight in 6 minutes. He has 9 points.
Hadn't made a 3-point basket. Obviously, he's only played 4 basketball games. But again, another perimeter player that's got speed, can handle the ball, and his ability to be a knockdown shooter gives North Carolina Central just one more bullet in the chamber.
Here he is initiating the offense.
See, the other thing about him, he's not tired yet because he hasn't been playing.
Another three for Caldwell. This one rattles around and comes out. Randolph with some open floor. Chased down from behind. How about the effort defensively there by Graves? And he's got his teammates up and celebrating.
Poor communication by the FAMU basketball team. Randolph's got to be alert to understand somebody's coming from behind. And then the casualness of just grabbing the ball with one hand. Grab the ball with two hands, finish a play. Another unforced turnover by against Florida A&M by NCCU, 11 on the night.
Jameer Williams applying the pressure to Caldwell, who gets the screen. And that time the Eagles give it right back. And there's a little bit of that disconnect because of the lack of playing time. Palmer and Caldwell on different pages there.
Yeah, that's good, though. Dribble inside, but again, you're not moving in basketball. Everybody's got to communicate. It's okay. And again, they appreciate what he's been able to do. And you see the coaching staff there of the Eagles and the Coach Graves and crew just trying to teach him up a little bit, get him ready for the next game. Garrett Bridges and Reggie Sharp and Nigel Thomas on the staff there for the NCCU Eagles.
Desir on the perimeter. Good to see Perkins back out there on the floor. He forces the turnover, little Euro step in the lay-in.
Talk about another guy that doesn't score a lot from the perimeter is Jordan Perkins. He's only made 2 3-point baskets, but he's going to go down as the number 2, probably all-time assist guy for NCCU. So he gets a steal, gets a score. It's what he does. Creates havoc.
Honing in on 3,000 career minutes.
Ron, you're exactly right. This is not the team that we saw early in February against South Carolina State. And keep in mind, that was only their 3rd game back after a 40-plus day layoff. But again, they're in tune defensively. They're active, loose with a handle, quickly to the basketball. That's Perkins. Drives inside, scores. They've done everything a little better, a little quicker than Florida A&M has tonight, and therefore you've got the lead that you have.
Perkins known more as an assist guy, but finishes on that play, and the frustrating night continues for Randolph. Called for the offensive foul there. Just has not been able to get on track this evening.
Well, see, they're playing him to say, okay, you're not a three-point shooter much, so we're going to, work you inside of 15 feet, and we're going to take you from those spots. And he's really just not comfortable handling the basketball.
Shot clock running down. The layup no good. Little baby hook that time, a nice finger finish there by Jones.
DJ Jones does a really good job there. He's got that little jump hook, and being left-handed, he kind of gets rid of the ball quickly and can score in there, but still didn't square up that time.
2 for 5 on the night, leads the MEAC in field goal percentage. Perkins to drive and dish. Fennell knew that was off the mark as soon as he let it go, tried to chase down his own rebound. Instead, Randolph the kick to Spear, and he's fouled.
You see how when Randolph gets the basketball, all eyes come to him, and they kind of really just kind of gather on him and put pressure on him, make him give the basketball up. And that time Spear was bailed out trying to go to baseline.
1-1 for Florida A&M. Second foul on Jonathan Maxwell. Jameer Moultrie also has 2.
If I'm Florida A&M, you make these free throws, you make this thing a workable margin. Unless there's a tie-up, possession error is going to go your way, so you get the ball the first possession of the second half. Minute 4, you may get 1, possibly 2 more possessions. So you get some defensive stops, you score. This could be a 5-6 point basketball game. And that's what you want to be able to do. You want to have your goals in mind. So you don't want to play this last 104 very casually. And if you're Central, you just keep doing what you're doing. Pressure the basketball, being unselfish, find shooters, knock down shots, play defense.
Back down to single digits now. for the Rattlers. We've seen 23 student athletes take the floor here in the first half. Ton of personnel for both sides. 12 Eagles, 11 Rattlers.
Here's that weave. They'll screen off it. There's a cutter. And if you can't get it, they'll try to reverse it or low post area. There's your skip. Good job.
Palmer lines up to three and buries it.
Yeah. That was Central offense. There's your clinic tape right there. Ball went from one side to the other to steal.
And then nearly the turnover for Palmer after hitting the three. Fourth three of the half for the Eagles.
So watch how the ball moves from one side. It goes into post. You try to dig the post, you reverse it, you make an extra pass. You get an extra pass, you got a shooter ready to knock down a shot, and he doesn't disappoint you.
Spear. Davis lays that one in.
Davis has got to be ready to catch that basketball a little cleaner.
Local product out of Tallahassee. Eagles can hang on for the final shot. 10 seconds to go in the half.
Okay, they'll run something very similar. Here's your high ball screen action. Get a shooter in motion.
Kaiser with the hesitation. Fall away three, maybe even a long two. And that'll do it. 35-25. Stand the pressure for North Carolina Central. Double-digit points off turnovers here in the first half.
They've done a great job, and you can't talk about it enough, in putting pressure and forcing some turnovers out of Florida A&M, forcing some quick shots, and when they've done that, they pushed the ball and gotten really high percentage. Very good half if you're LaVelle Moton for your team.
Got a huge lift from Caldwell. Alex Caldwell in his fourth appearance for the program. 9 points, a game high 9 on 4 of 6 from the field. Plenty more from the nest on the other side here on ESPN+.
Roll up, we're supreme, see what I mean.
Good to have fans back in the building here at McDougal-McClendon Arena. Eagles by 10. We've said it a couple different times, not to sound like a broken record, Stan, but turnovers have really been the story of the first half. FAMU with 13 of them.
Turnovers, making you hungry and wish for some apple or something. And look at this, 10-second possession error right there, boom. Early possession, lob pass, but 4 gray shirts around the basketball. Great job defensively, anticipating, getting a steal, get your hands in the passing lane, and you know what to do when you get that chance, you finish. That was a good job by Watley, your bigs. A steal and then pushing in transition. We've talked about Randolph. Again, going into a cloud of guys, and the bench is excited. Everybody's excited about what you're doing because of defense. And then when the defense is doing a good job, you can score the ball. The leading scorer in the Mid-East from the Athletic Conference, C.J. Kaiser, didn't get the start for the second night, but he said, I'll show you something. Comes off the weak side, gets the dunk there. He's excited. And then the secret weapon, the new guy on the block, Alex Caldwell, in rhythm, scores. Moves the ball, gets a little rub screen, takes the screen, knocks it down. And watch this, sets you up. All 3 of those have been great looks, in rhythm, shots. And when you play like you're playing, you've got a lot of enthusiasm. And fans in the stands and coaches on the court are all excited.
Coach LaVelle Moton getting 16 points on 7 of 12 from the field between Kaiser and Caldwell. 2 guys coming off the bench. And there you see the bench points heavily in favor of the Eagles.
Florida A&M, 13 turnovers in this ball game so far. 10 steals by North Carolina Central. You know, let me show you how effective defensively they've been this year. They're high. I throw out the Carver game. You know, that was a mismatch. They had 10 steals against South Carolina State in that win. They had 10 steals, and that was their high against North Carolina back in December. And that was a game that they threw together, you know, in a couple of days, and they nearly beat Carolina. Since then, they've not had as many steals. They've been effective defensively. Can they continue for the second half? We'll find out.
We'll find out if Randolph can get on track. I don't think the Rattlers have much of a chance if he's not going to make a shot. Didn't make one in the first 20 minutes.
If Spear doesn't contribute either, they've got to get some baskets.
Fall-away jumper there for Jones. Low percentage shot off the rim. Perkins starts the second half much like he did the first.
Florida A&M's 3 out of 10 shooting in the first half from three land. And remember, we talked about Spear, Reeves, and Brown being those guys that can knock down threes.
Watley draws the foul, and he's a little slow to get up.
Guys are really giving up their body. And you have to be aware of that defensively if you're Florida A&M, because Central does such a good job in spacing and taking their bigs and using them 15, 18, 20 feet away from the basket. If you beat your defender, there's going to be a help side guy, but you've got to be in position to take the charge. Could have had that a little late. Watley goes to the free throw line.
It'll be the third foul on Cameron Reeves. Coach Robert McCullum talked about how good he is at taking charges, but referee deemed not quite in position there.
Heels, I think, were on the restricted line, and it was about a half a step late also.
A couple of free throws for Watley. He's got half a dozen on the night. Seems like every time Randolph turns around, there's a gray jersey there to meet him.
Got a size advantage now defensively. They're going to make him work to score.
Elects to go with the jump shot, and that's a good sign for FAMU here in the second half.
That was a good job defensively by Maxwell. Took away the initial move, made him kind of go to something else, a little fade away from the baseline.
Wright turns the corner. Good verticality there for Jones that time, but a foul after the offensive rebound.
I expected this to be a physical basketball game, and we put 3-4 guys in the first half went down with some type of injury. Hopefully they'll be back. Coach McCullum not happy right now, feeling like NCCU's a little too physical. You know, Coach Moten works the whole side of the floor, the whole bench area. He's working, trying to get his guys to play with the same passion that he played with as a player and he coaches with now. But again, I kind of thought this was going to be a very physical game just because Central, coming off a 4-game losing streak, they're not used to that, and losing 2 of those to Florida A&M.
64% shooter on the year. Maxwell hits a pair. The lead is 12. Justin Wright digs down on Jones.
Jones has got to do a little bit right now. He's out of the play, come back in.
Another late shot clock situation here for the Rattlers. Long jumper from Jones, no good.
No rhythm offensively on that possession.
Maxwell posting up. Wright finds Maxwell. It's Watley who tries the 3. Fennell, he started the game off with 5 straight points for the Eagles, and it'll be tied up with 17:43 to play.
North Carolina Central is just more physical today. They're touching bodies. You know what I'm saying? Every time there's a cutter, every time you go on the block, offensively, defense, there's some contact.
A little casual there on the inbounds pass, though, results in the turnover. Melvin can't finish inside. Jones takes care of the loose change.
3 guys watching the ball go in the basket. Jones says, I'm going to watch it, and flushes it. Really good athlete, runs the floor. Nice finish.
Back-to-back turnovers now for the Eagles, but Perkins is there, and he lays it in.
You mentioned it a second ago, the casual passes, and we talked about it in the first half, talk about it more in the second. Just, you've got to be strong with the basketball.
Another hopeful pass there with 17 even to play.
You know, the Eagles are really playing to their name. They're swooping down on any prey, anything that's there. Boom, they're going after the basketball.
You can see the look on Coach McCullum's face, too. Not pleased with what he's seeing out on the floor at this point. As Moultrie checks in.
And I tell you what, I understand that because he wants his guys to match the physicality and the intensity that North Carolina Central is presenting right now.
Randolph to the basket. And now to the free throw line to shoot 2. 2 for 2 from the line tonight for Randolph. First team foul on the Eagles here in the second half. Randolph, a 64% free throw shooter. Guy that spends a ton of time in the gym, just loves the game of basketball. One of 2 at the line. Lead stays at 11.
Still plenty of time, but if you're FAM, you've got to turn up the defensive intensity as you clear out.
Moultrie draws the foul.
One of the ways you know the Central offense is being very effective is how many times they go to the free throw line. And they've done that. You know, again, this is a limited season and the numbers are kind of off, but they've only shot more free throws than their opponents 3 times this year, which lets you know they're shooting a lot of jump shots. Also, their offense is not in attack mode. But tonight, they're shooting free throws. They've been in attack mode, and they've got a 12-point lead.
6 of 9 so far. Moultrie will shoot the Eagles' 10th free throw. Compare that to 6 for the Rattlers. And Central has matched its largest lead of the evening at a baker's dozen.
Full court pressure once again. Speeds you up. You got to finish.
How about that for a finish? Jones, sky high, as he closes in on another double-digit point game.
And a nice pass and push ahead by Spear.
Talked about the clinical offensive possession a moment ago for the Eagles. How about that clinical press break for FAMU? Watley is hounded and then fouled.
Jones did a nice job defensively, cut off the baseline. And then you and I have worked together enough now, you've heard me say you got to be patient on defense too. Well, that was a patient post defender. And the guy spun and you just kind of sneak your hand in there. And you said, well, what difference does it make? It makes a lot of difference because, again, he was going away from the basket and you pick up a foul.
And it's the 3rd foul on Jones. That's 3 on him, 3 on Reeves. We've called Jones's name a couple of times here in recent minutes.
He's been their only offense.
Yeah, he's been having a great impact, and now he's got to be careful with the foul situation. Randolph forces the turnover. And then it's laid in by Moraine.
Good job of getting the steal. Never had control of the ball. That's why it kept bounding. Moran does a nice job running and finishing.
Lead is back down to 9. Another foul perhaps on Jones here. That's going to be 4 on him. 15:40 left on the clock. Jones has 8 points, but now 4 fouls. Something for the Rattlers to navigate here in Durham.
What's your excuse? Sign up at ESPN.com/bracket and start your group today.
There you see the stats on DJ Jones for the night. 3rd on the team in points scored, 3rd in rebounds, leads him in blocked shots by a mile. But Stan probably going to have to sit for a while now that he's got 4 fouls.
Yeah, we just talked about it when he picked up the 3rd, a cheap one. And I applaud your idea of being aggressive. And if you had 1 foul, I'd say yeah. But with 3 fouls, 15:40 to go, and that foul being 18, 25 feet away from the basket, not a smart play by DJ Jones. And he's trying to look for that one play, maybe steal, slam, but not worth the risk right now. He'll sit for a long time.
First time we've seen Kaiser in the second half. Randolph's turned up the intensity defensively. Let's see if it leads to some offense, and it does.
Yeah, when we talked about it at midway point of the first half, he scored his most points in ball games in the second half.
Randolph finding a way to have an effect on this game. Now he's got a couple of steals, a couple of assists, 5 rebounds, 7 points all of a sudden. Kaiser gets to that just beyond the elbow, likes that spot on the floor, but misses that jump shot. Randolph looking for back-to-back baskets. And the foul is called. Looks like it'll be Kaiser called for his second.
And you're seeing a little bit of the same medicine. Loose ball, go down and get it. Nice job there. And then able to take it to the floor. And then he backs away. Kaiser wisely backs off that time and picks up the foul on the next play. So, again, if you're getting some baskets going to the hole, that's going to kind of give a little momentum to Florida A&M. You make your free throws, you're able to put some pressure. And then it's time for North Carolina Central to be able to respond offensively as well as on the defensive side.
Talking about getting downhill, also being able to score before Central's able to set its defense.
Yeah. They've not done a really good job scoring in transition. But that are in converting from defense to offense. But the last couple of possessions, loose turnovers, you've out-hustled for the ball, you've gotten some easy looks, you got a close ball game now.
Johnny Brown had a good game against Central. The second time these teams played earlier this year, all of a sudden, it was 13 a moment ago. It's 5 now with less than 15 to play.
And Johnny Brown could be one of those X factors for Florida A&M. He's got length at 6'9", blocked some shots, and as you mentioned, scored well against Eagles back in Tallahassee.
Corner three, that one is good. Nice look there from Moultrie.
Nice job again, dribble penetration. Jameer Moultrie, another one of those deadly three-point shooters when the opportunity arises. Now, if you're fan, just settle in right now. Protect, they say, what is the thing they say here? Protect the nest, protect the ball.
That's right.
See, good, watch this. Inside, ball gets in the paint, you make the skip pass, everybody stands up on defense, nobody gets out in time to contest the shot. That's what it is, 1, 2, 3.
Now 20 of 42 from deep this year for Moultrie. Is that percentage inches toward 50% on not a small sample size? Fennell called for the foul as he reached in.
And one thing you don't want to do if you're the Eagles is to start picking up cheap fouls. Gets them in the bonus. This is a good free throw shooting team, that of the Florida A&M Rattlers. And so you don't want them to start shooting free throws. You don't want to get your guys in foul trouble, scoring with the clock stopped.
Fennell's second. Nobody on the Eagles with 3 at this point. Randolph picked up his dribble. Moraine. Reeves for 3. And the finish inside. Moraine with the offensive rebound. And it's a half a dozen.
Second chance opportunity.
Wonder if Coach Lavelle Moulton will go back to Alex Caldwell at all. Provided them a ton of energy in the first half. Haven't seen him yet here in the second. Kaiser long on that 3, and Randolph, the quick hit ahead. Spear lays it in.
Great rebound and outlet pass. We talked about it. One of the best rebounders from a forward guard position in the MEAC. That was Randolph. Hit Spear. Timeout, Eagles.
Rattlers have hit 6 of their last 7 from the floor. A lot of them coming off their defense and in transition.
Georgia.
And this April, the Azaleas are back at the Masters.
How do you get back in a basketball game? You get back a lot of ways. You can play defense, and you can make some shots. Well, guess what? Fam's done that. Steal and score, running the break, the big guys finish. Loose ball, going after the ball. Take it down, great vision, under control. Randolph gets the layup. Again, shot long this time. Again, Randolph pushes ahead, finds Spear with the layup. Coach Moulton's got to take a timeout. 4-point game. A lot of time left. Rattlers. You know what the Rattlers do? You know what Rattlers do? They strike, they strike, they strike again.
The Eagles need to find answers. It's down to a 4-point lead.
They're offensively, they've been really good in spacing. The middle of the floor has been open. They've not been able to convert some shots, and when they've missed, Fam's been able to rebound. They've got to keep moving the basketball and moving people.
Pretty good defense there from Moraine. Got a little unlucky with the ball deflecting back toward the Eagles, but now Florida A&M with possession and a chance to cut it to 1 perhaps.
When the ball is loose like that, it's just fundamental ball. Just grab it first. Never got full control of it, tried to shoot it, ended up hitting the bottom of the rim. That's a missed opportunity for North Carolina Central after a timeout.
Rattlers 7 for 11 from the field here in the second half. Compare that to 2 of 7 for NC Central. Randolph tries to turn the corner. 2 defenders and now a third to meet him. Moraine, the jumper near the foul line, drops. 2-point game here in Durham.
But again, Randolph is able to get inside of 10 or 12 feet and then find open guys. Moraine does a nice job, one dribble score.
Jump shot is off the mark from Melvin, and North Carolina Central offensive rhythm has really disappeared. Quick jump shot there, confident from Reeves, and we're tied at 46.
And this is similar to what we saw down in Tallahassee. Eagles shot poorly. When they missed shots, FAM got rebounds and pushed it and got nice looks for baskets.
Eagles have not been able to set up their press because their offense has not found points. Another empty possession there. Kaiser misses this time. Long 2 for Randolph. They go to Moultrie. His first miss. Now 2 for 4 actually from the 3-point line for Moultrie. We have a tie game though. The Rattlers down 13 in the second half. Brand new ball game here in the Bull City. It's a 16-3 run for the Rattlers. The Eagles 1 of their last 7 from the field. They haven't scored a point, Stan, in over 3 minutes.
Yeah, and not going to score when you're missing shots and the other team is taking the ball down the floor in transition and getting baskets that easy. MJ Randolph, boom, boom, boom. You get the big guy. Moraine comes in, scores a little bit. And they've done this with Jones, one of their primary inside players, having picked up his 4th foul real early in this ball game in the second half with 15:40 to go. So they've done a really good job of making that. All they've done is just flip. It's almost like the uniforms have been changed from the first half to the second half.
That's a great point there. That graphic told you the story. The balanced scoring for the Rattlers as well. 5 different scorers with 7 or more points. Randolph looking to add to his total here at the free throw line.
Got a little odd little hitch in that shot, you know.
Probably why he's, despite being a good scorer, only shoots in the mid-60s from the free throw line.
It's like just at the end, it's almost like a little twitch there. Like, watch it, look, just gets it up there. But when he gets it up in that motion and can get that shoulder dip and get the hand up, it's a nice shot. It's a smooth shot. It's worked for him well.
Largest lead of the game for the Rattlers, perhaps their only lead of the game, as the Eagles caught fire early, 48-46 here in the second half.
Trajan Davis, talked a lot about him for Florida A&M, number 14. He's come in. He kind of had a little deflection a moment ago and did a really nice job taking the baseline. That's Davis, and 6'4" sophomore. And again, another one of those physical players. So they're just going to bang you too.
Caldwell not shy here tonight, comes off the bench again, shoots another 3. He provided quite a bit of energy, 9 points as well in the first half. And it'll go to the Rattlers. Boy, tale of 2 halves. FAMU 64% from the field since halftime. We talked about at halftime the 17-6 run they had against South Carolina State after entering half with a 4-point deficit, and it's been a very similar story here. That leaner is no good. Davis couldn't corral the rebound. It'll go to the Eagles. (17-6) out of halftime the other day, 23-11 to this point. in the second half tonight. Caldwell is fouled. Cheap one there, given up by Davis.
Both of these teams are averaging about 34 points in the second half of ball games. Central at 34-8 and FAM at 34-3. And both of them also have been outscored by their opponents on average in the second half, 35-4, 36-4. So again, something's going to have to give. You're going to have to find a way to score. You're going to have to get some stops.
Kaiser.
A lot of pressure away from the basket, see?
The look is inside. And Brown is called for the foul.
Look at this again. Try to go inside post. From that angle, looked like he got basketball.
It's the 7th team foul, so Central already in the bonus. It'll be Maxwell at the line. Just the first foul on Brown. Front end of the 1-and-1 is missed. The rebound, though, gathered in by Kaiser. He misses from short range, and Randolph comes away with it. Randolph stuffing the stat sheet here tonight. 9 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and a couple of steals.
On the verge of his 4th double-double of the season. And how about that? Point-blank opportunities for North Carolina Central. They don't score out of either one of those.
Now Brown is fouled. It'll be Fennell who's called for it. Number 3 on him. He becomes the second Eagle with 3 fouls. Joins Kaiser in that regard.
What's the one thing, a lot of things, but one thing you've noticed about both teams? Offensively, so much of what they're doing is beyond the three-point arc, which can be good because you're getting spacing. But it can also be bad because it makes it harder sometimes if you're playing good defense for you to be able to penetrate, enter your offense. And what FAM has done is that they're beginning to start overplaying that pass. So you've noticed they're getting a lot more deflections. They're forcing Central to take some shots from some bad angles.
Randolph inside.
Floor was open again, and you're able to drive, and that's what he likes to do, go to the basket.
He's up to 11 now. You mentioned switching jerseys. It's a totally different version of Randolph, who also blocks that shot, but not before the foul was called. Caldwell steps to the free throw line.
They list him at 5'11", but he's got really long arms. Can handle it.
First free throws of the season for Caldwell. Davis called for the foul as Spear checks out. Reeves will come back. Caldwell good on both.
Central's going zone. Little one guard front, 1-3-1 or 2 floater. Trying to take Randolph out of being active.
It's a team that has not had a lot of practice time this year.
Nice.
NC Central. Wonder how much they've had a chance to work on their zone defense. And the Rattlers an opportunity inside, and they'll draw 2 free throws.
Well, it really helped them, I noticed, on Saturday against A&T. Gave up a lot of inside basket, but I like that. You flash that post guy ring, and you send a cutter on the baseline, and something's going to be there. Ideally in zones, you want to make them work around. You don't want to let anybody get inside what would be the logo or the middle of the floor, the old dotted line, for those of us who are old enough to remember that. So you don't want them to do that. When it does, it breaks you down. You can shoot it there, you can pass it, you can reverse it. Good recognition by Meringue. So we'll see how long Lavelle stays in that 2 front. He might go to a little 1-3-1 or bring that 2 guard up a little higher. We'll see.
Cameron Bowles checks in for the first time as Fennell has to sit with 4 fouls. Everyone on the roster for the Eagles has played tonight.
And with Fennell out of the game, the Eagles will be a little smaller. I mean, keep in mind, Kaiser only goes about 6'3", 6'4". So the rebound advantage may go to Florida A&M.
The Rattlers already with a +8 in the rebounding category, and that might get even more exaggerated with the height advantage that you talked about. There's another one for Randolph, his 9th.
So we want to go ahead and give him the double-double, right?
I think it's safe to say he'll grab another rebound here in the next 8.5. Totally different looking guy than he was in the first half as well. Three from Brown is good. All Rattlers here in the second half.
Cannot relax when the ball is reversed. You fall in love, Johnny Brown, downtown. Johnny Brown knocks in the 3.
A 7-point lead for Florida A&M. They trailed by 10 at half. Fall away for Kaiser is good. The Eagles needed that.
Kaiser recognized he had a size advantage over Randolph. Not by much, but definitely does. And he took advantage and made the basket on the base.
Just the 3rd made shot for Central here this half. Randolph probing. Bowles grabs the rebound.
Keeping a man. They just went back man, it looks like, on Randolph. So he's going to initiate the offense. Shots are going to be there.
It'll belong to NC Central on the other side of the break. Florida A&M has come to play here in the second half as they lead by 5 on the road.
This is the best of the bad. Good is this kid.
And CCU fans hoping for a turnaround here in the second half. What a turnaround it's been for FAMU since halftime. Must have been a heck of a speech from head coach Robert McCollum. There you see the difference intermission made in this game.
Hey, that's why you play 2 halves. You know what I'm saying? Central's played basically since they came back from COVID, basically February and a little bit. Now, they played 6 games, okay? The 2 games they won, they shot a combined 49%, 60% against South Carolina State, 39% against South Carolina State. The 4 games they've lost, 2 against FAM, 2 against the team in Greensboro. That's how we call it in Durham, team in Greensboro. Okay, 37, 33, 39, 30%. What are they shooting now?
36.
Yeah.
That'll help the percentage as Perkins finishes inside, and we'll have a chance at 3.
This is a time where your senior leadership, a guy that's won 3 rings, would like to get in position for another. Jordan Perkins may have to just take over this basketball game. Again, not a great shooter, not a great perimeter shooter, but his ability to make plays, make good decisions with the ball, either driving or passing, will be key, I think, this final 6:52 for the Eagles.
Perkins only averages a touch over 6 points a game. He's already got 8 tonight, 4 of 4 from the field, has 3 steals as well, and now the ball in his hands with his team trailing by 3.
This is a guy that's only got 3 games in double figures all season long.
Bowles pressed into duty with the foul trouble to Fennell. Kaiser off by quite a bit on that 3-point attempt.
How many second chance opportunities has North Carolina Central had in the second half where they're not able to score? Got a loose ball rebound there, didn't finish it, had to settle for a jumper. FAM gets the ball.
Reeves is fouled. It's Perkins who's called for his first. And now both teams in the bonus with 6:16 to play.
Brian, one thing you also notice too is the fluidness of how FAM has been able to move the ball from side to side. They weren't able to do that the first 10, 12 minutes of this basketball game. Central took them out of that. Now they're getting the basketball after Randolph initiates in the paint. They're getting that weak side guy open, or they're swinging it to the strong and getting the shot.
I don't think it's a coincidence, too, that NC Central is missing shots. They have not been able to set their defense the way they were when they were hitting shots in the first half.
That's exactly right. See how much smarter you got in hanging out with me and leaving,
didn't take long.
and leaving Chase alone.
The bar was low.
Well, yeah, I mean,
but I made a lot of progress.
Hanging with me and hanging with Chase. I mean, Lord bless you.
You said it, not me.
He knows what he needs to do. We care because we care. One of the best in the business, Art Chase. Clock winding down. Recognize.
1 second on the shot clock. Kaiser forced to shoot another three. Now 4 of 13 from the field for Kaiser. Randolph is tugged at by Perkins.
See, now if you're Florida A&M, you want to make certain that you limit North Carolina Central to one possession or one shot at the ball, and then you get those rebounds and you start thinking time and score. Possession arrows going Central's way, but FAM's got 3 timeouts remaining. So again, getting the win on the road is something very, very precious, even if we're only down to 2 ball games.
Randolph misses the front end. FAMU has cut down on the turnovers quite a bit as well. Foul is called. The charge called on Moultrie.
And it looks like also, you know, we're talking about ball reversal and movement. Florida A&M has figured out the rotations too. And you're making the problem sometimes with having Perkins in the game at the point is he's not a shooter. He's not a three-point shooter. So you can sag off him a little better than you would maybe if Moultrie were at the point or if you had, you know, Mike Melvin or even now bringing in Alex Caldwell. Good defensive adjustment.
13 turnovers at halftime, 14, 15 minutes later for the Rattlers. Just 1 turnover here in the second half. They have completely turned this game around in that regard. Long 2 off the hands of Jones, rebounded by the Eagles. Perkins quickly ahead. There's Moultrie, misses on the 3. Stepping on the baseline was Watley, and it'll belong to Florida A&M.
And Perkins did a really good job pushing the basketball, made a good decision. There's a wide open shooter in the corner, just not able to knock it down.
And that's the guy you want shooting him. Coach Lavelle Moten will take that shot every day of the week.
He did.
Hit a bunch of them. He's got his number and his picture hanging up here on the wall. .422 to go. Eagles ball trailing by 5. There's a look at the banner hanging up here at McDougald-McClendon Arena. Career of Lavelle Moten,
who was on the Olympic team representing Zaire. You looked at Big Wall, you know, Sam Jones and Coach Mack and Tex Harrison. You know who Tex Harrison is? I'm going to tell you in a minute.
It's good. Call that a tease in the business.
Yeah.
Very nicely done.
Thank you very much.
Kaiser, meanwhile, can't find the range at all here in the second half. Been stuck at 57-52. Neither team has scored in about 3 minutes. Maybe some tired legs. It's been a physical up-and-down game.
Well, you want to run this clock down if you're Florida A&M to about 10 seconds. About right now, you want to try to get into some type of offensive flow. So there you go.
Takes Kaiser and finishes inside. 13 on the night now for Randolph.
Spacing, no one in the middle to be a rim protector. Beat one guy, get you a layup.
Timeout coming for the North Carolina Central Eagles. 3:21 on the clock. Largest lead of the night for the Rattlers, looking to go 3-0 against the Eagles on the season. Randolph lighting it up in the second half.
And this April, the Azaleas are back at the Masters.
As you look at MJ Randolph in the huddle, FAMU taking a look at our player comparison off the top. We discussed Randolph and Kaiser. Polar opposites. Kaiser with 7 points in the first half. He's only got 2 in the second. Randolph 2 in the first, 11 here in the second.
Randolph is just kind of controlling the basketball. They're running a lot of the offense through him. He's getting the ball in the paint. He's making passes, and then he's getting that one-on-one situation after a reversal, and then he just says, okay, let me measure up, and how will I score?
Just over 3 minutes to go. The Eagles with 1 timeout remaining. Look inside. It's the easiest points the Eagles have had in quite a while as Watley finishes.
Nice basket after the timeout.
Next foul for either team means 2 free throws. 5-point lead for the Rattlers as Randolph forced to chase that one down. How about this matchup, Kaiser and Randolph? Well, Randolph did enough there to pry that rebound away from Fennell. Referees will say the shot was not in time, so the violation for FAMU.
Florida A&M is saying that the ball grazed the back iron.
And now a discussion ensues.
They want to take a look at this.
2:38 to go. (59-54). Eagles ball at the moment. And it looks like we'll take another look at this one.
Now that was at the end of the clock. That wasn't the shot in question. I don't think that touches the rim at all. But it's the shot prior to that.
So referees will take a look. As both teams, in essence, get a free timeout here to talk things over. Out of the last timeout, North Carolina Central able to convert on the basket. Here's the first shot of the possession.
Ooh. Well, one thing I know is I think he got hit in the head before all that happens. Watch this. Randolph may have getting grazed right there. Okay, this is a great look. Guys in the truck, ladies in the truck, you guys are doing a great job. I don't think that hits. I don't think that gets the back on. I think that's a good call by the officials. Yeah.
It is a shot clock violation. It is confirmed by replay. Great look from our crew at both of those shots, as they were both inches away, maybe less than that, from grazing the rim. As it stands, though, North Carolina Central ball with 2:38 to play, a 2-possession game here at McDougal-McClendon Arena.
And that was a free timeout basically for both teams as well. So now you got a chance to get yourself under control. Huge possession, I think, for North Carolina Central.
Perkins out there with Moultrie. Watley, Kaiser, and Fennell playing with 4 fouls.
Kaiser being guarded by Randolph.
Those two guarding each other on both ends of the floor. The foul is called, so Kaiser will shoot free throws. Double bonus from here on out for the Eagles.
Kaiser does a really good job off those misdirection screens of getting the ball going downhill and getting his shoulders square so that the defense is always about a half a step behind him. And when you do square up, you're not able to really guard him because he's already in his shooting motion.
Spear becomes the second Rattler with 4 fouls. He joins Jones as Kaiser hits the first. Moultrie checks out as Bowles returns.
I think if you're FAM, if he makes his free throw, you got to look for pressure, and you've got to be strong with the ball. It's winning time.
Eagles fall back just a bit. Still in that zone.
Showed a little 1-3-1 trap that time.
You can see the tempo. And see Central forcing on that offensive possession. Then the foul was called, and maybe Fennell gets bailed out a little bit. Left his feet without much of a plan, but got the whistle.
Moraine did a really good job running to the baseline and almost pinning him under the basket, but there was a little contact, and I agree with you. It was a little bit of a bailout that time. But you notice Central came with the trap, which sped up the tempo, and the carelessness that you saw in the first half by Florida A&M, you begin to see on that possession.
That looked a lot like the first 4 to 5 minutes of the game.
Sure did.
You see the foul trouble for both teams.
Have we even seen Jones since he picked up his foul at, 15:40?
On the floor now, but just returning a moment ago. Spent a lot of time on the bench. Back to a one-point game here with less than 2 to play. Something about you and I calling these games. Single possession, another turnover, and then right back. Quick hands there from Moraine.
Protect the basketball, both teams.
And Coach McCollum wants timeout here to try to settle things down again. Boy, that was so reminiscent of the start of this game. That kind of tempo, for those that maybe joined us late, that's what this thing looked like from the opening tip. Bodies everywhere, Eagles flying around, 1:46 to play. Florida A&M with the ball and a 1-point lead.
If you were going through the lunchroom line in school and the big kid on the block tried to take your milk, you'd protect it. You'd cover it up. You'd grab it with 2 hands. You wouldn't let somebody just take your lunch money, take your food. It's the same thing with the basketball. You got to protect the ball. They're coming at you from all kinds of angles. Catch it, protect it, put it under your chin, make them foul you, give it up to somebody. If there's a double team, you only play 5 in basketball. If there's a double team, that means somebody's open. That open guy's got to run to the ball. The guy can't find you. You got to find him. I'm just telling you some simple things that can help you win a basketball game.
It's a 6-0 run for North Carolina Central. I don't think it's any coincidence that the team that has controlled turnovers has been the one having success at different parts of this game. Randolph met by 2 Eagles. There's the double team. Somebody's got to be open. You just taught me that math, Stan. Randolph inside with the miss. And there's Jones having an impact on the offensive glass. The 3 is good.
Big time. The best time to take that shot is a second chance opportunity on the kickback. Wasted no time. Cameron Reeves hits a huge 3.
And it comes off the second chance generated by DJ Jones, offensive rebounding. 4-point lead now. Kaiser, step back 3. There's Jones again cleaning the glass. Had to sit for a while, but 2 important rebounds here down the stretch. 60 seconds to play here at the Nest. Spear, after the whistle, charge called. I believe it was Moraine called after he dished it off.
Left his feet, and Spear knocked down that basket, too.
Perkins drew the charge.
That's the end of the play. You see he knocks it down, the freshman. But again, a good job defensively. Now watch this. Second chance opportunity. Defense is broken down, so you make the kickback, make the extra pass. Spear makes a good decision. Reeves makes a good shot.
Jones, incredible length.
Caldwell's thinking about it.
The 3 from Watley. And now the foul called on Palmer as the Rattlers will go to the free throw line and look to extend a 4-point lead. They're 13 for 15 from the charity stripe here tonight, 87%.
The Eagles have a timeout, and that possession arrow is important. So you've got a chance, especially if he misses these free throws and misses 1. So you don't have to settle, I don't think. It's still enough time. You have to settle for a 3-point basket. Get you a basket. Then you can either use a timeout or you can set your defense. Might be academic if he nicks this one. You may not have enough possessions. We'll see.
64% shooter on the year. Moraine hits the first free throw he's taken tonight. Huge rebounding advantage for the Rattlers, plus 12. Moraine, Jones, and Randolph all with 9 or more in this game.
And Florida A&M is out rebounding their opponent. They're 4-3 on this shortened season.
Off-balance shot there for Palmer. Caldwell gives the foul. What a second half it has been for FAMU.
All the things that they didn't do in the first half, they did, and they did it with relative ease. They moved the basketball. They played great defense. I can't really remember the last time Central had a transition basket or a conversion basket, off a steal or something, or off a rebound. They've taken that completely away.
5 for 24 from the field for the Eagles in the second half. Just 1 of 12 from the three-point line. On the other side, FAMU shooting over 50% in this half.
In those 2 games that they played in early February down in Tallahassee that Florida A&M won, North Carolina Central was 5 of 31 from three-point line. They had 8 assists and 25 turnovers in the 2 ball games.
3-possession game here. Eagles need points and need them quickly. Kaiser sizing up Randolph. That one's off the mark. Caldwell will try a 3, and that is going to do it. 40-23 here in the second half, and the Rattlers have won the first 3 games of the series this season.
Wow.
How'd they turn it around, Stan? Total 180.
Yeah, defensively they were more in tune. They took Central out of what they wanted to do. They made some shots, which allowed them to set it up. They then turned the basketball over. And when they saw an opportunity to take advantage and win the game, they went out and got it. Great win for the Rattlers. Tough defeat for the Eagles of North Carolina Central.
Reeves and Randolph each with 13 to lead Florida A&M. They moved 8 and 10 on the season. For Stan Luter, I'm Ryan Craig. Thanks to our production crew. These 2 teams, same time, same channel tomorrow night. We'll see you 7 p.m. on ESPN+.